Alright guys, welcome back. So a lot of you lot have been asking me for this, the Tower Trials guide. So the reason why it took a little bit longer than I would like is because I was really pushing to try and clear as much stage as possible. We've obviously cleared through normal. It's kind of actually hard a little bit, even right now. Like, I don't always guarantee clear through it, right? And even the hard stages, we try pushing as far as we can. We've gone pretty decent far. This is 110. We've got 108 and blues as well. That is because you have, obviously, the Escanor and the Merlin. We'll talk about more about those later on. And then the green stage is very, very hard because we don't really have that many good greens right now. And then yellows is... I'm stuck on this one. But yeah, always remember, Tower Trials, while yes, your characters are important to get duped out, a lot of times I can't clear through, and I've maxed a lot of my characters out already. I can't really do anything other than level up my account. So when it comes towards, you know, just getting that little bit extra levels when it comes towards your taverns, your sacred treasures, like right now, I'll be able to clear through a lot more once I get towards the arcane stage, which is, on level 24. Once I get those, I'm able to pray clear even more. And just the little bits of getting extra progression on your research lab and constellation. And your mystical gem box, if you're not completing those as well, they do help out a lot, right? So for me right now, I think I've hit the peak of where I can go. It's just a matter of getting a few more dupes on my lower duped out characters and just progressing my account a little bit more. So let's talk about the characters and what we use in order to order these stages. Now remember, you have to clear it once. So right now, I kind of still struggle a little bit to clear through it. When I do it, and you can see it's pretty close, what I like to do a little bit is kind of move my characters around and just change some ultimate orders because they do make a little bit of a difference. But right now, I think we can sometimes clear if Escanor doesn't get one-shotted. If he gets it off, I think we do clear through it. So I think it's a bit of RNG if he doesn't die in one hit. I think it's the Monspeed that does kill. So I might have to move Monspeed around, or the actual Escanor. That's what I mean by like positioning when it comes towards these stages are kind of important. So yeah, he dies towards the actual... What was it? The Monspeed, right? But if you get that off, you basically do win. So we just move our ultimate here, try and get the Merlin a little bit earlier. The Elizabeth doesn't take ultimate engage, but it's not as fluent. Like, it does go from her. There's a few seconds after it where you have to use Elizabeth, where you can use the Merlin one. So we just start right now with 2. He still died. Yeah, unfortunate. Once again, can change it. Maybe put the Elizabeth in the front and then do this. Okay, so I think we tanked it there. So should be able to clear it now because Escanor gets the off. Boom, massive nuke. So that's what I mean by just changing your team around a little bit. Really does make a difference. Just paying attention to what actually kills your characters. But let's explain the team setup a little bit. So I think obviously for most of my team you'll see right now, this is what we use, minus a few positional changes because the Escanor Monspeeds do one-shot your characters. This one we did use draw, we'll explain that in a second too. But it's pretty much the exact same thing for like most of the actual games, which is just the main trio, Merlin, Infinity Merlin, which I will say might be the best DPS. Escanor, yes, he can do a lot of damage, but he's not going to stay alive long enough to do most of the damage, right? So you'll see right now we go towards the thing. Escanor to do most hit, but there are a lot of times where you can see Escanor might die, but then the actual Merlin does the most. Okay, these are the hard stats right now. Okay, so it's not fair. But yeah, the most important thing is a immortality character. So someone like obviously Derriere is super important. You can also bring obviously Draw. They're the main 2 you can bring. You can bring this other Diane too, but you don't need to bring 3 immortality characters. Just bring 2. Or 1, obviously. Goldvar is super important because you're able to get the increased damage taken towards, what is it? So it is tanks are hit with the Tampered Memories, which is the first one, which means they get the attack lower and also crit chance lower. So that's kind of important a little bit when it comes towards the DPSs or even Esterosis when you find those. Lower Esterosis attack or obviously the Escanor's attack as well is super, super good. And then obviously the support characters, being able to kill them a little bit easier is huge as well. You do notice it, especially when Merlin's putting all the characters in, being able to silence everyone, even if for 1 second, does actually make a difference. Like, GOAT was literally the GOAT when it comes towards Tower Trials. I actually don't know if behind the scenes, if they have like an ultimate move order, which I assume they do, so I assume the invasion does work a little bit. And of course, the big ones is, of course, the big DPSs, Escanor, the Medias, Merlin. King is a really big DPS as well. I mean, you can see a little bit of stat numbers. He does, I mean, you can see he did more than Berserk Melee, right? To be fair, it's because Berserk Melee didn't get that off, but still bring him just in case. If we do make it towards that, and if we do make it towards the Monspeed, he can then decrease your cooldowns, increase theirs as well. I would probably do this as well. I would probably put the Derry up front, just in case you do get towards her. You'd rather use her ultimate if she's somehow still alive a little bit. I will say another thing too is, we do bring Elizabeth sometimes. If I was to swap out a character, I would swap her out, but get in the Triumphant, so you do increase damage for every debuff apply yourself. There'll be sometimes not that many that apply debuff, but it can be helpful a little bit. It's just, of course, for this right here, which is you reflect damage taken back and also restore energy. And then also this too does give some energy back as well. So like it can be helpful, but if it was a replacer, it would be for another tank. In terms of character, who would I replace? I might just throw another Gopher in, to be honest. I think it's just, at that point, it's about energy, or maybe even bring in Merlin just for some crit chance. But yeah, this is literally what I use. Like I did say, it's super important when it comes towards just seeing who's one-shotting your characters. Escanor, because obviously everyone is the color of the stage you're versing. But for Escanor, it doesn't really matter. It's because obviously he has got tab advantage on the ultimate. So I do make sure whenever we're going in towards the next stage, you look to see what the Escanor is. Because you can see right now, you can tank quite a bit with the actual Gopher because he does lower the attack of all the characters, basically, right? But what doesn't survive is Escanor's AoE and his tab advantage ultimate. So what I like to do sometimes is just send my immortality character towards the Escanor, because as you can see right now, Escanor's to the top. So what we do is we just literally have Derriere tank here. Unfortunately right now, the person we do versus in this stage in particular does have Elette, so if she does crit, then she does obviously buff remove, and that can kill this Derriere. But as you can see, with the Merlin, with the Gopher, and with the Escanor, we can do so much damage that it doesn't matter, right? We can stall long enough to where the other character can then pop off and get ultimates in time, right? And that's kind of how we did most of the stages. There are a few times actually where Escanor is in the middle, and at that point, it's kind of hard to play around it. So for this one, what I actually did was actually the exact same thing we used right here. Is you might think, okay, you want to play around the Escanor, but at this point, what I'm doing is going straight for the kill, right? So what we do is we use obviously go for turn one, kind of exact same setup. We stall so we can kind of reflect some damage back, and then go straight towards the actual Merlin ultimate, which will obviously stun. Pretty much stop everyone for like a second or 2 seconds, but more importantly, stun the Escanor. So if this ultimate hits right before the actual Escanor's about to ult, it will actually stop or cancel the ultimate. And you can also obviously stun him and then get the ultimate up with Escanor, and then follow up a little bit of AoEs with maybe Berserk Melee or any other character basically would should do the job instead of killing him. But like I did say, there are some times where Escanor's at the top, so you want to stall with your tank character, but then you still want to tank a little bit, so that's kind of where I bring my actual draw. We store S Derriere at the top, and then we also just bring draw, and then we can just easily kill them. I mean, this is not the stage where Escanor is at the top, because once I clear through that stage, I just easily kill through the other ones. But once again, you can just kind of stall with a tank character at the top. They can take some of the damage. You easily kill the bottom ones. When you get the orb, boom, Escanor kills them all, does most. I mean, to be fair, Merlin does start to pull him in afterwards anyway. And then, yeah, you can see Merlin and Escanor just kind of clear through. My Melee did do a lot of damage anyway, but you kind of see the gimmick of the team a little bit. It's just, yeah, stalling and debuffing, basically. Alright, so when it comes to those hard stages, once again, everyone's kind of bringing the exact same teams. So, like, the best characters you can bring if you have 10 slots, obviously, is... I think everyone should have 10 slots now. They made it more widely available. Is this team right here with some a little bit of changes towards ultimate orders, right? So, what we always do turn one on the red team is, of course, the go for debuff. It does help us still a little bit. And then we also follow up with Elizabeth ultimate, just because it's basically free, right? Because you do restore the energy. And then also... maybe we reflect some damage back, right? But then obviously, of course, the big DPS for Reds is Merlin. Go straight in for her. She will be pulling everyone in, so she should most of the time hit everyone anyway. And then, while it's not relevant at the start of battle, once you start to lose your momentum a little bit, you will start to take some damage. And at that point, that is where the Gelder heal is. Kind of clutch to keep the Merlin alive. You're not always clear through it. You do have to... I remember for this stage, in this one... well, to be fair, I'm on the hard stage, so I actually can't clear through all of it. But it was just big crits for Merlin was the big one. But right now, we are getting stunned, and there's nothing I can do about it. So it's kind of why I can't clear through this one, because right now, I have to, like, get my characters up to where the time we can attack, we easily clear through it all. But I don't think that right now there's anyone that can debuff remove, right? So you just got to literally brute force it. I mean, I guess we can nullify stuns with Helbram. But this is only towards this stage. Let me see if this works. Because, yeah, right now, this is like the biggest annoying one. But this is only towards this 108, where they actually start to stun you. So, yeah, like, all my DPs get stunned. It's quite annoying. We've got the stun immunity now, so let's see if we can clear through it. It is for 10 seconds. It might work. It's how we're actually got to use, boys. I don't think we're getting stunned. I still think we need some DPS, though. Yeah, because the problem is, now that we have, obviously, Helbram up front, I mean, we did do the best we did. I think, look, they're so weak right now, it's just getting probably some big crits on Merlin. Yeah, that's like super weak, man. I think if I got like the arcane gear, we get a bit more stats with the clear through it. Or maybe I got more super awaken on towards the Merlin. If I got the extra, 300% attack, I'd probably be able to clear through that one. But I think with Merlin, you do a good job of starting him, so it's not too much a worry. But in moving on towards the green sages, this one gets really hard, right? Because the best character you essentially have is no longer Escanor. It's your Meliodas, which obviously I think for most of us, even though you may be in Dupta a little bit more, is probably most of the time underleveled. Now, I will say it will get a little bit easier over time because of Transcendence Bond. He does make it so 76 heroes have more damage, crit damage-wise, and also normal skill damage, which is sort of okay, right? But the main thing, a little bit towards his barn, is he now does have an AoE snatch, which does lower the attack, which is basically what the Gopher was doing, 30%, but it is 10 seconds now, rather than the 5 for Gopher. So Gopher is already a GOAT, so this barn would also be the GOAT. Once he gets up there, so once I think we get barn towards 7-star, 6, 8, 9, 10, we get him up to a really high level. Not only do I think he'd be probably likely one of the better DPSs, but also be a really good healer and also support as well. So like Bond will be like the all around, like an absolute GOAT, right? And yeah, this could be a lot better too. So right now, this is kind of what we're doing. We kind of just bring our tank character store a little bit. We just use this ultimate order, kinda. You kind of play around with it a little bit. I will say surprisingly, if you just play it right now, Elaine does do some decent damage. Like I remember her being quite a lot. But right now, you want to focus on your actual Meliodas, right? So we ult with Monspeed. Use the melee. Melee gets the big buffs. He's doing most of the damage. Escanor, we just got the heal there. You see, Escanor's about to die. So, like, that timing with, obviously, Glocksin is kind of important. I don't think we clear through because everything res, right? Maybe we do, actually, because I've leveled my count a little bit more now. They're still alive. But, yeah, Elaine, you can see he's doing quite a bit, Okay, we actually clear through it. Nice. Or do we? I think you actually res. Oh, just 1%? 1%. Okay, so I think I can do some actual other runs there, but you get the point. It's just a matter of your Meliodas doing the most damage, right? He's doing literally almost. It's like 1/5 of Escanor. But you can imagine when the melee is, Super Awakening plus 40 with the actual extra 3% attack. That is why you're able to click through most of it for this one. So not too much to say about the actual green stages. Alright, so when it comes to the blue stages, you do have access towards the best DPSs in the game, Berserk Melee, Escanor. It more comes down to if you can get the Escanor ult off, which, once again, I'm stuck on 108 because it does stun the Escanor, which is quite annoying because then I can't get the Escanor ult off. And I think right now, even with my immortality characters, he just dies right before the heal. You could start with a heal instead of King, but you do get more heal if you get the King or ultimate off. But I don't think Escanor takes damage. So yeah, like if we healed there, we wouldn't have healed anything because they're already full health. We got the little bit there, but I don't think he gets the heal off. Nah, I think he would have done so much more. Okay, let's actually try to switch around. Let's put the heal first. Because I can just stop the cleanse, right? Because the only problem with King is like it is kind of slow to get the attack buff. It's kind of worth it, but let's see if we get a better change here. So we get the heal, get that off. It's not enough still. Yeah, this one's a bit more tricky. This one should be slightly easier. Just bring 2 immortalities, bring all the boys behind, bring them one speed reset. I would say the actual, what's the name? Malaska does heal quite a bit, when you start to get her up too. You can see she did heal more. A bit more passively though. But at this stage, doesn't even bring any crazy AoE characters. It's literally just we keep getting stunned, that kills it. And the final one is the yellows. This one's a bit more weirder actually. So I will say for the Glocksin here, we've now changed over towards 4 defense for the character. Just because I noticed at a certain point, you stop critting. Like, your actual characters can't crit, which is kind of why Berserk Melee kind of falls off a little bit in Tower Trial, because if you can't crit, then Berserk Melee's not doing his AoE skill. And that was kind of the same a little bit with Glocksin here. I wasn't becoming immortal. So what I did focus on was tanking a bit more, but also because his ultimate does scale a little bit off defense. So you'll see when we start this game right now, we do kind of okay damage with the Glocksin here. We then follow up a little bit of withdrawal because he does reset his cooldown, so he can maybe get another ult off. Escanor though, like our only like big DPS festival is what, King? King's not a festival, but he does do some good damage though. Escanor and Zelda, but Zelda takes too long to build up, so it's kind of what I mean by we need like another festival level or crazy OP Sin, like how we have for like other colors, right? So green and yellows are lacking a little bit, but you can actually view what people used in order to clear through stages on the hard difficulty, and you can see the same thing. So they are bringing Valenti, but my Valenti when I used her was too slow actually. I think I was relying on critting a bit more. Yeah, I think I brought Arthur because I really wanted the Gluckson to crit, but he wasn't critting, man. So I wouldn't rely too much on the Gluckson to critting. If he crits because he gets his ultimate off and he gets the crit chance, and that's all the better. Valenti, though, does do alright damage from memory. I think, once again, I think she's probably a little bit too low for me right now. So, yeah, yellow is a bit tricky, right? Because you are bringing pretty much no new festival character. You're bringing Gluckson, you're bringing Draw, and you're bringing Valenti. Kind of the 3 new light-type characters that not a lot of people have gotten crazy deep levels. I'm sure most of us have probably gotten deep down a little bit more since he is on the Grand Summon banner. It's kind of why I've owed to get this far a little bit. But I think once we get like another festival light-type, and the fact you can use his melee, is going to be a lot better. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap up the video for the Tower Trials. Hopefully it did help. Once again, definitely when it goes towards normal stages, bring Sorcerer towards this team where you're just literally bringing character, nuking with the big 3, used to go for debuffs, and then just kind of move your characters around a little bit depending on when you do find the Escanor. Hard stages, I mean, good luck until you get towards 108. At that point, you need to... When you get your off once, it needs to be able to one-shot everyone. So that's kind of why you need to take your account towards like the next level. But yeah, any tips you think I missed in this video, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, thank you for watching and